Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about ears here. Ears, for most of you, they go on the side of the head. Some of you have animal characters, so they would go on the top. And some of you have horns instead of ears. And so that's the same as kind of having bunny rabbit ears or bear ears. They kind of follow the same rules. But with ears, there's a tendency to make little C shapes. So I'll show you what I see a lot in this project, where someone will flatten a piece of clay, and then cut out an ear shape out of the clay, right? I might use the rolling pin to do that, right? And then draw a, looking around for my tools here. Okay. Draw something like that. And I'm doing this, I'm demonstrating this so you can see how goofy it's going to look. All right. So they shape this perfect kind of C shape. Sometimes I see this too. We'll put a little line in here. Like that, right? And then the ear gets like stuck to the side of the head. Right? That's probably how you're imagining doing your ear. But the problem with this is that it does get knocked off pretty easily. And it just looks like it looks like a Mr. Potato Head. I just stuck this thing that's supposed to be an ear on the side. It doesn't really look that much like an ear, even a cartoon ear. Right? It doesn't have much depth to it. So I want to, for my character, my ear is going to go from here to here because I'm going for something kind of realistic. So, and I want to just think about it's got to be that big. So this tiny little thing is not going to work for me. So I want to make something a little bigger. And again, your ear may not be this shape, but that's okay. Actually, I don't want to use that at all. I'm going to grab another piece of clay. I need it to be a little thicker than that. That's too thin. It's too thin. I'm going to wedge a piece right here. I know I promised I would be really short with this, and I am doing my best with that. Trust me. I don't want to take up too much time. Oop, fix the focus. Okay. If you can get a hold of a clipboard, I totally recommend it. This has been so helpful. I think this is like a Dollar Tree clipboard. All right. Okay, so my clay is probably a little more than ½ inch thick here. All right, I'm gonna make it just a little thinner. So this is closer to ½ inch, yep. And I am going to cut this in half. All right, now that is way too big, right? But my ear is got that standard C shape. So usually what I'll do is I'll make one ear, and if I like how it looks, I'll use that ear to help me make the next one. So, okay, I'm gonna pause for a second so I can let this person in. Actually, just let him in. Okay. All right, so same problem. If I take this ear and I just shove it there, it's gonna look, it looks goofy. It definitely looks completely goofy. But I like the size of that one, so I'm going to use that to help me make my second ear. And then I'm going to spend a little time kind of fixing the shape. So now I have 2 ears. Not perfect yet. I will fix that in a moment. And then here's the trick. So instead of gluing or attaching it here, you want to lean the ear into your character's head. So yes, I would score here, but let me just lean it first. So I want to push the ear back so that it doesn't, because ears lean back. Like that. Okay, that looks a little bit better, right? Maybe it could be a little closer. That's the thing you have to figure out. And when I lean it back, I'm also changing the size of the ear. It's looking a little blobby, so I'm going to clean that up and remove some of that. Here. Okay. And I just want to make sure it's right first before I start attaching it. And I'm going to draw my little details in there so I know where to carve, because I want to push that in. Think about how the ear is shaped on the inside. You know, do your best with that. I know we really haven't studied that. And your character may not have really any definition on the inside of the ear. Right? Okay, so once I feel like, okay, that's right, then I can take this off and I can score, slip, agitate, smooth, and get this attached. And I can do the same thing with the other one, right? But what if you have bare ears? Well, same thing. You would start off with something thick, like a thick piece of clay here, and you would cut your shapes out. Let me make this a little more bear-like. And then you figure out where you want that to be. Is it here? Is it here? Is it more forward? It just really depends on your character. And right now it just looks like a chunk of clay. But if I go and I shape it a little bit, so maybe it's a little skinnier at the top, then it's still got a really good connection here. Maybe if it's a bare ear, this part, I don't want to just leave that line, but I could start changing it so that it has a little bit of a hollow there. I can add a texture later if I really wanted to make it like fuzzy ears. So even that kind of thing would work okay on the side here. Right. So I would want to make 2 of them before I attach them both. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with one little ear and one big ear, even if they're for a bear. If I want to add horns, I can't take a skinny piece of clay and do something like that, like antlers, antennas, anything like that. This is going to break. No matter what, the connection needs to be really fat, even if this is skinny. And then long things that stick off like that tend to crack anyway because they dry here. So you'd need to figure out a way to like have it connect again to like the side of the head so that it will get its water source from the noggin. It won't dry out as quickly. So like if your character has horns like this, like little double horns, right? Kind of appropriate for that weird face. You know, you could do something like that. As long as it's thick here, it'll be fine. And this is really a large piece of clay, so while it's not going to blow up because it's skinny enough on this side, it if you curl it in a little bit, it's going to be a little safer too. So I make both of them at the same time. All right, that is truly really it for ears and horns and stuff like that. Bunny rabbit ears, any specifics I can address in your questions. I'm going to stop recording this. And then I am going to, I thought I stopped. Did I stop?